Have you ever thought about how our food choices are shaped by food labels? Well, the health halo effect is when people perceive a product as healthier just because it has a positive health-related label or claim.
Yeah,
Have you ever thought about this, Alex?
Not even once. I just kind of eat whatever's in front of me. My apologies there. I was clearing my throat, getting ready to partake in some of this great stuff. But I will say, I'll pat myself on the back here. I do have some things on this table that I do eat, including the veggie straws.
Okay, yeah, so we're going to break it down. So my big point here is that we don't really want to label food as good or bad or healthy or unhealthy, but there is the health halo effect is basically there's buzzwords, on your labels that maybe make you think that this food is healthier just because it says organic or gluten-free or keto or high protein, but we're going to break it down so you have these so you can make more educated decisions.
And that's big for me because I am in that camp of I see organic and I'm like, well, this has got to be fine, right?
Exactly, yeah. So organic, it actually literally means it's federally regulated, but it doesn't indicate the nutrient content. So it's federally regulated as far as how it's processed and how it's grown, but doesn't necessarily mean the nutrient content is, it could be organically grown sugar, and you still have added sugar in the food product that you're eating. So let's break it down. So we have keto over here on this side. And so keto, a lot of times it says keto friendly. And basically what that means for it to be federally regulated is that it has to have 10 grams of carbs or net carbs. And so basically you have carbs and then you subtract fiber and then that equals your net carbs.
Got it.
And so it doesn't necessarily mean that it's healthier just because it says keto. It just probably means that there's maybe a little bit more added fiber in that product. And then you've got, granola. Granola is still granola and it typically has a lot of fat that's been added or added sugar. And a lot of times now that you'll see like with this Kind bar or Kind granola, it says 10 grams of protein, or a lot of times it'll say protein granola, but it really isn't that great of a source of protein. When you break it down, it still has a lot of added sugar and a lot of fat that's been added to it. So that's kind of a way to get people that are maybe in the gym that want to maybe get the gains. You see Fit Butter, so that's kind of on that same point. It's talking about that extra protein that you're getting, but in reality, it's not really that great of a source of protein.
Now, I'm very curious about the organic Doritos. I can't say I've seen that before.
I mean, yeah, this is actually, I feel like something that's new, but organic, as soon as you see organic or anything with the color green, you automatically think, oh, this is really healthy for me. Organic Doritos are still the same thing. They're still Doritos.
Darn.
Yeah, right. And so it just basically means that the process is different, the way that the ingredients were grown, but it still has the same nutrient composition as a regular schmegular Dorito, right?
Regular schmegular Dorito.
Yes. And so veggie straws, kind of similar thing here. If you look at the ingredients, you and I can see it, Alex, but it says potato starch, spinach powder, and tomato paste. That's the only relevant or closest thing that you're going to get to an actual vegetable.
Don't tell me this.
So there's not actually made with veggies, so there's also like a health halo effect there when it says veggie or garden veggie, so you get what I'm saying. And then mac and cheese, organic mac and cheese is still macaroni and cheese, even though it says organic.
You're breaking my heart here.
I know, but we're just making educated decisions. It's not necessarily that these foods are bad for us, but they aren't necessarily as healthy as maybe the labels make them seem. And then over here on your side, Alex, gluten-free is a really big one. So for people out there that has celiac disease that cannot actually tolerate gluten, then these are great options for people that can't eat gluten. But for someone who can process gluten, it doesn't necessarily make you healthier. The gluten-free corn dogs are still corn dogs, and the gluten-free Chips Ahoy is still a Chips Ahoy cookie, and you're still going to eat.
I assume the ice cream.
And the ice cream, I always say, like, if you're going for like a light option, then I just say, like, eat the real thing, but maybe a smaller portion of it.
Okay, we can live with that. So the point here, as you mentioned, is to not be fooled by just the verbiage on a bag.
Exactly.
Or a container.
Do your own research. Maybe look it up and see what are these regulations that are the USDA or other FDA regulating, and what does that actually mean? And then talk with a dietitian as well, and so you can make these decisions for yourself.
And I got one more bit of bad news for us here in the studio. The ice cream is empty, so that ruins my evening plans right there.
Oh no, well, go get the real thing. Maybe just have a smaller portion of it.
Good idea. Now, if somebody else wants to give you some more topics to talk about, some other things. We learned a lot today. What do they do?
Yeah, send us an email at pressreleases@ktbs.com.